evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another battle report. This time it's Skirmish campaigns, and I'm using my trusty Inquisitor warband, Holy Orders, and I'm facing off against the Dwarven Hosts and the Vampire Covenant. So this is my warband, and new this warband I have put a bit more effort into fluff and background of it, so I have a few more names picked out. So we're starting from the front. We have my two attack dogs. One of them is new, so this is Ulor and this is the Maiden. We have Noe, an Order Initiate. We have Sister Hildegard, the Prelate, Gilia Gonzalez, the Inquisitor, Marino, the Order Initiate, the two Martyrs, who are flaglants with flails, and the Sunblessed, another flagelant with a buckler and a morning star. And back here we have the Veil Serpent, who had a name but I can't recall it because it was so strange. So I hired a Veil Serpent as a hireling to my warband, which feels very appropriate for an Inquisitor warband. But I have some sort of background idea about Gilia wanting to do this because she is a means to an end person, and Sister Hildegard is very much against it because she's more pure. They are old-time friends or something. So a bit more fluff. I'm not fully there yet. I think I will do a video later about the background of my warband when I have it more fleshed out. So I'm facing off against the Dwarven Hosts. So fully painted now. This is the warband. We have the Boar, Snow White. We have Pirate Pete. We have the two, who's a Seeker hero. We have the two Beardlings. I can't recall their names, but one with a great weapon and her with a buckler and an axe. And she is, of course, the tankiest of the crew with 10 health points. We have the leader with two axes, the father, and in the back we have his father, the grandpa, with an axe. He's also a seeker, and these two are seeker initiates, so they are henchmen, drinking brothers to the father. This guy has an axe and a dagger. He's a new recruit, and this is the more experienced guy with the whirling chains of doom. And these are the Vampire Covenant. We have the two vampires. This is the courtier, so the leader, Natalie, and the demi-vampire Elizabeth, both with sword and shield, heavy armor on her and light armor on her. Natalie has strength of the dragon, so she's got strength 5 and ignores limited motions, which is good. 4 skeleton archers, nothing fancy. A Barrow King, he was delayed last game, but he's back. And a Blood Servant with a bow, shield, and a sword. I think the Barrow King had a sword and shield as well, very tanky group. So this is the table. We decided to go for something different this time. Instead of our usual city landscape, we have more of a wasteland or desert, but very a lot of stuff nonetheless. So we have portals in each end. We decided that that's fun to use. You can move through them, but it's dangerous terrain, so if you fail you stumble. And other than that, it's pretty much what it looks like. A lot of the hills have carved in stairs, like here, back here, and this one as well, and this one, so you can get around pretty good. Yeah. The scenario we ended up with was Holy Relic, so there's a large, it hasn't been placed yet, but there's a large objective marker in the center that you can take home for a lot of points, and while you carry it, you are your route checks are minimized, so a greater chance of sticking around. I deployed my warband. I can tell you where we ended up. I ended up in the top left corner, the Vampire Covenant in the top right, and the dwarves had the whole backfield here to deploy in, but they chose to deploy in this corner. So this is how I deployed. Wanted my crossbowman up high and kept this guy in the rear with him for protection, and I also didn't want this guy to die because he's the last survivor of his henchman group, so I don't want to lose this experience. And then the faster stuff over here. A mistake I made here, but I cheated my way out of it because I forgot about it at the time, is that this guy is counted as an enemy for the purpose of marching, so I should have taken march tests in the first turn with these fellas. Need to remember that for the next game. And the rest of the warband deployed down here. The dwarves made a conga line, ready to move up the ramp. And the undead took up position with the archers up high, and the vampire and the barricade down below. And the blood servant aimed for the portal. Here we can see the holy relic in the center, a barrel of beer, so very enticing for the dwarves, not so much for the undead you'd think. And I took first turn, and I moved up like so. The dogs moved up on the bridge, and these guys moved up a bit. The only big movement was the Veil Serpent, who moved up into this big ruin thing. The dwarves were next, they moved up as well. And then finally the undead. I think, yeah, that's the only picture I have of the undead. What they did more is that they unleashed some arrows on Snow White and killed her outright. So poor Snow White. So she was taken out of action. My second turn, the Veil Serpent continued advancing. He's up next to the objective, although it's a serpent, it's not scoring, so he can't do anything with it, but he can bog down the incoming dwarves. I took it fairly carefully here. These guys moved up to get better. I wasted a bit of movement moving the crossbowman here first and then up here, but whatever. He's trying to get some shots in. I moved the Inquisitor anyway back here, intending to climb up and go for the objective, and these guys will try and face down the vampires. So we'll see how that goes. The dwarves moved up, splitting into two parties, one going for the archers, the skeleton archers, and the rest going for the objective. Notably here is that the Dragon Seeker is going for the archers, and he's by far the most dangerous of the group. So the new recruit, the Initiate, is going first in this row, and then the Beardlings, and then Pirate Pete. So all of these three are fairly noobish dwarves. She is of course the tankiest, as I always like to point out, but still. I charge with my Veil Serpent in my turn. The undead in their turn didn't do much, they moved up a little bit. So I charged with the Veil Serpent, and these rules for the Veil Serpent are very new. I added him quite recently to the rules, and I wanted to try him out to see if he's too good or anything, and he seems pretty good on paper, so I was a bit curious, and he rolled very well. He had 3 attacks and hit on 3 up against the Initiate, hit all 3, and then wounded on 4 up and rolled 3 6s, so he did 4d3 plus 1 damage and just murdered that dwarf. So not really a fair judgment of him, but it seems good, so maybe a nerf is in order. Elsewhere, this flagland tried to charge but failed, and I moved up a little bit elsewhere. I think I needed a 10 or something. That's about it. These guys are trying to move up on the archers. And these two charged into the Veil Serpent. And this is the result. They missed me with their attacks, and I did 6 health points to the daughter. Again, rolled really well. I think I hit all 3 attacks and wounded 2 of them. I didn't roll that well for damage. I think he wounded me once, but I saved it on my 5-up Aegis. But then the unstable rule kicked in, and I took a wound from the combat resolution or all alone situation. This guy did manage to climb up last turn, not Gilia though. He has a rope and hook, so he's pretty good at climbing. But the Blood Servant, let's go back a few pages. There we are. This guy, he moved through the portal and shot him down from his position there. So he was up here, had climbed up and then fell down. I think maybe, yeah. Here you can see he is climbed up, but he's hidden behind the barrels, so whatever. But he fell down and is almost dead, but he survived thankfully. Both vampires charged into the flagland and promptly bluffed. They did 1 wound and rolled double 1 for number of wounds or health points lost. So I could even strike back, but I didn't do anything, so it's a real pillow fight. And the dwarves are closing in on the skeletons over here. My turn again, and here I cheated again, because that's what I do apparently. The flagland here recovered a wound, and then I decided to not risk it going into combat engaging more, so I retreated instead. I should of course have taken a frenzy test, discipline 6 maximized with the flagland, not to charge, so he probably would have been forced to charge. Really have to remember that for next time, because that is a real disadvantage of the flaglands that I just keep ignoring. That's not fair. And Gilia managed to climb up this turn, so she's pretty safe up there. Yeah, not much else. The combat here continued being just a fluff fest. Nothing happened. So I was really worried about him killing this flagland in my turn and then being able to charge, and I would just roll through me. But again, he just fluffed his attacks. He kept rolling 1 or 2s to wound, so he couldn't wound me. And yeah, this combat here, I finally killed the daughter, but the other beardling took his great big axe and chopped into me. I only have 5 health points left. The Dragon Seeker managed a long charge into the skeleton archers and killed one. And the grandpa charged one of my dogs, and he wounded it, and it fell down, but it didn't die. Pirate Pete charges in. This guy goes up for some nighttime reading of texts about Kulima, it seems. So that's the Whirling Chains of Doom guy. So far he's stayed out of combat, which is good, because then he won't die automatically, be taken out of action automatically. Here's the dog that fell down. The Barrow King snuck up on him and promptly failed to kill it. You can see my turn. I have regained a health point. The vampires finally managed to kill the flagland in his turn. So in my turn I was able to move away again. I wonder why he still has 1 health points there. That's weird. Whatever. Gilia moved up the stairs, hidden back here and aiming for the objective, though she's on her own, so she can't really do anything with it. That's where we are going. Yes. I killed the other beardling. I kept rolling really well. I think I did 12 attacks with him during the game, and I hit like 9, 10 of them on 4-ups and 3-ups, so that was really good. He just kept killing dwarves, so that felt a bit unfair. So the beardling is dead and Pirate Pete is half dead, and the dwarves decided to rout. They lost a lot of men and didn't want to risk it. But then this guy showed up, the blood servant who's been stalking around in the backfield after moving through the teleporter, and he opened fire at the Veil Serpent and killed it. It had 5 health points left, and he did 5 health points, so it's dead. Next, let's see. Go back a few pictures. In this situation, I fired the crossbow here at Elizabeth, the demi-vampire. I had fired a few shots before but never wounded, so I thought I'd go for an easier target. I fired at Elizabeth, and I wounded and got her knocked down, I think. That sounds about right. And in her turn, she crawled up to under the bridge, and Natalie moved ahead to go up the spiral staircase, aiming for the objective. But then I noticed there's quite a lot of space separating the planks here. So I moved up Gilia, and she took her gun and pointed it down between the floor planks and fired at short range, because even though it's 6 inches from top below, when you measure from top below you measure the horizontal distance only, so that was 0. So short range, quick to fire, and ballistic kill 4, so I hit and I wound and she died. So I got a kill with Gilia. That was nice. This guy finally managed to kill the dog. As you can see, I had managed to recover 3 health points, or 2 health points up to 3, so that's neat. 2 pictures of that for some reason, and that's the last picture of the game. This is just a picture of a terrain piece that we forgot about. We didn't use it. I had it in my cabinet on display and we forgot about it, so next time, well, maybe we'll use that too. But we had ample terrain, so not really a big issue. So let's see if I can loop this. Yes. Okay, so that was the last picture of the game. When he killed that dog, it was in my turn, and I had killed one of his, so he had lost 2 models by then, and he killed one of mine, so I had lost 3 models by then. He took his route check in his turn and passed it and stuck around, and I tested in my turn and failed, and that was it. So he won the objective and everything. We rolled 4 injuries. The dwarf player was really happy that all of his casualties survived. Really nothing happened. For my own part, both dogs survived, I think, but the flagland that vampires killed died. So that's a bit unfortunate. But the Veil Serpent survived. Actually got a hardened result, so it's fearless now, but it was fearless before, so whatever. The interesting parts happened for the Vampire Covenant player, because he rolled up a 61 result on the injury chart, which meant capture. So my warband captured Elizabeth, the demi-vampire, and I could then ransom her with the warband. And I decided that I went for a low price. I wanted to make sure I got a bit more extra income, and so I ransomed her for 20 points, and that's quite helpful to my economy. So that was it. So she survived, and everyone was happy. Exploration, nothing that important. The dwarves got a 666, so they have a returning the favor to choose from. So he's gonna hire a hireling, possibly an ogre. That's gonna be fun. And other than that, we just got some extra stuff. Nothing too interesting. The advancements, though, the Dragon Seeker, who, thanks to an alchemist house he found in a previous battle, could take academic skills. So he took Hunch, so now he's got Scouting Seeker Dwarves. That's nasty. What else? I learned Nimble on Gilia, so she can march and shoot. That sounds nice. Learn another spell on or prayer on the prelate Hildegard, so she's got Clarity of Mind, so I can cast that instead of rolling on, or before rolling on the higher advancements table. And if I succeed on a 7-up, I get to pick a skill and can always choose an academic. I plan to use that to gain some explorer skills on my initiates to get even more exploration dice, because that sounds fun. What else? I think that's about it. I'm thinking if the Vampire Covenant player did anything interesting. A lot of his stuff leveled up at least. But I don't think there was anything that particular. Oh, the Natalie, the vampire courtier, she got additional offensive skill and defensive skill, so she's up to 6 base and 7 defensive skill with her sword. So that's pretty nasty. Offensive skill 3 is gonna hit her on 5-ups now, so that's good. Yeah, that's it. I don't really know where I'll go with my warband next, but yeah, it's looking interesting. Oh, and the Veil Serpent, he rolled a 5-up on his Wanderer, so he will not participate in the next game. He'll come back, maybe come back the game after that. So that's a disadvantage he has. Though we did think about it a little bit, and we agreed on a change to the Supernal rule. We used this to try it out in this game, that they can't recover health points in the recovery phase, because it makes sense thematically that they are formed from magic, and then they can't really regain anything during the battle. They just decay. So that's a disadvantage. And then I also think I will reduce his health points from 12 to 10. That sounds more appropriate. So it won't be as tanky as it was in this game. That feels good. So that's about it for this time. Thank you for listening. Hopefully next time will be a Fantasy Battles game. I have one planned. We'll see if it happens, and we're gonna try out another supplement. That's gonna be interesting. So look out for that one, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.